We all have a journey, and that journey can take us many places. Some places on our journey are awesome. Some we wish we would have arrived earlier, and others we wish it would never have happened. My journey has taken me from the business world to teacher and coach to entrepreneur. Your journey is more than being on a blue ball circling a star. It's about sharing your journey with others. This is Coach Driggs, and you are listening to Love the Journey podcast. Welcome to Love the Journey podcast. This is Coach Driggs. Today we're going to talk about my story a little bit on how I've gotten to where I am at today. So this is really a personal story, but I think it is I think many people can relate to it. As I looked at the reflection in the mirror, I asked myself, who am I? I had everything that society told me would make me happy and successful, yet I was miserable. I had money, a dream house, cars, toys, a great wife, great kids, friends, active in my church, a title, and a career. On the surface, everything was great, but internally there was a huge ongoing battle. I was empty. Is this all there is? I thought to myself. When will I be content? What is enough? I didn't like the person I'd become, chasing the dollar over everything else. I had little empathy for people that didn't serve a purpose to me. I had neglected my family and my health to be successful. I had compromised my standards and who I really was. I woke up and realized I was at the top of the corporate ladder, but I was on the wrong ladder. How did I get there? What caused me to realize I was on the wrong ladder? It all started when I was asked to help coach my youngest daughter's junior high basketball team at a private school she was attending. I originally went to college with the intention of being a coach, but was sidetracked with making money and the allure that comes from that life. This was an opportunity that I could do part-time and work around my schedule. I was a terrible coach. I couldn't understand why junior high girls couldn't get it right while I was hollering and yelling at them. They just had to figure it out. As I struggled, I watched the man who asked me to help, Coach Steve Krantz. He worked with the high school teams, and I marveled at how he could get so much from these kids. The girls loved him, and they would run through a wall for him without a question. I wanted that. Soon I was asked to help Coach Krantz with the high school teams, and I got to observe firsthand how he coached. He earned the team's trust. They responded accordingly. But even with all my shortcomings, for the first time really in my life, I had fulfillment. I started to know what he was doing and slowly started to change. I had never experienced the feeling of being able to transform a student's life. It was what I was truly searching for, a meaning. It was not an overnight transformation, and it's still one I struggle with daily. But I learned I had to earn the right to coach these girls. I didn't have a relationship with them, and they weren't going to respond to me without my investment in them first. This became most apparent when our best player and I would butt heads on more than one occasion because I had not taken the time to invest in her. She didn't trust me. It was not a good experience for her or I, but it is what started me down the path that I'm on now. This went on for several years, coaching basketball and working my corporate job. I was thankful that I had control of my time and could schedule my job around practice and game times. I was doing everything I could do to spend more time at the school and work with the team. That is when we come back to the morning and the mirror. Why don't I do what I want to do? How can I make the transition? How is my family going to handle this? These are all questions that went through my head. It was going to require a drastic life change, not only for me, but also for my wife and kids. But I knew if I was going to keep my sanity and live to see another 10 years, I had to make a change. It wasn't well thought out. We just did it. There were many bumps and bruises, many more than I can probably even remember. From moving out of our dream house to making a fifth of what I had made in corporate America, the transition at times was very painful. But I knew this is what I was supposed to do. It was probably the hardest on my wife and family. I know that at times they thought I had lost my mind, and I should have done a better job of explaining to them why we were making this change. But they were very supportive, even when moved my youngest daughter her senior year of high school so that she could so that I could take my first full-time coaching and athletic director position. I look back 10, 15 years now, and I realize how much I don't recognize that person I was back then. In some sense, it seems like forever ago, but it hasn't been that long. I'm on a journey to make a difference and impact as many lives as I can. I have found my calling, and I'll do this until the day I die. It's not a job, it's a love. I'm not saying the corporate ladder is wrong. It was just wrong for me. What I learned from this is that we must love people and use things. When that gets turned around, your life can get out of whack. You cannot become or be the best person you can be in your life with that backwards. Again, we must love people and use things. I'm now on the correct ladder, and I'm not so concerned about climbing it, as I know I'm on the right one. I encourage you to take an honest look at where you are and ask yourself, do I need to change ladders? This is Coach Driggs, Love the Journey podcast. Have a great day.